Hey there. Just want to make a very quick video for you guys so that I can keep on a schedule of getting more videos out to you. In this video, I'm going to talk about the power of the K6-R and the K6 EFI. I've been getting a lot of comments and a lot of questions, people talking to me in the back end DMs and the such about the power of this bike. And I'm going to say straight out, for the average person, this bike is plenty powerful enough. If you want to talk horsepower numbers, let me just throw them out there to you. 31 for the R, the K6-R 250 carbureted version. 31 is what seems to be the overall when you average it out between highs and lows, because I've heard as high as 34 and I've heard as low as 30. For the EFI, the only thing I can find, because no one's actually thrown it on a dyno, is 30. I'm not sure I believe it for the EFI, just because I'm not that confident with the mapping. It's better, I believe that the Kayo mapping with their version of the EFI and the mapping and the computer control of it is a little bit better than what's going on with the GPX 300R right now. Not trying to bash them. All you GPX guys, hey, I love all the China bikes. Just seems like that they're reporting that a lot of people are having problems with it, and the Kayo one may or may not be a little bit better. I think it's the older version of what GPX had at one point, but regardless, it has its own flaws too, because the Kayo version, when they come from China, they put a little bit of test gas in it, and they don't have the best gas to start with over there. And I guess it stays in the system, you know, because they do a little quick run to make sure the bike does okay, and then they ship them over. And it basically turns into like this black little flaky gunk. It clogs up the injector itself, and it clogs up the filter that's in the tank, the actual tank where the petcock is, where the line connects for the fuel. It kind of gums up the works there. So my suggestion to anybody who gets a brand new K6-R, K6 EFI, the first thing you do, clean out your tank. You know, disconnect the screws and everything. Unscrew the filter where it comes out of the bottom of the tank. There's a little filter in there. Make sure you clean all that out and clean the filter. If you have the ability to flush your injector itself, separate it from the little clip, the electronic clip at the fuel, from the fuel line and from the electronics. You know, you just get to the point where you're at the injector and clean your injector. If you can't do that, request a new one. I think Kayo's been pretty good about it. You know, telling them that, you know, right from the factory that, hey, this is a problem. Can you get me a new one? I don't know if they will or not, but I've heard both sides. I've heard some people get brand new ones right from the start, and I've heard some people have to fight for it and actually buy it. But either way, that's my suggestion to you, to get the optimal power from your bike. After just buying the bikes, both of these bikes, you're going to get more power out of, with the R version, you got to set your jets. You know, you got to jet it for your region. I know a lot of people don't understand these things, and they just buy a bike and think that they're great, but no bike, not even if you bought a Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, KTM, if they were still coming with carburetors, you would need to jet it for your region. There's jets inside the carburetor itself. Look it up on YouTube or on Google. See what I'm talking about. You've got to jet it for your region. And me throwing that out there to you would be different from bike to bike and from region to region. So if you need help with that, you know, that's what the group is for that I have, the the Kayo K6-R and K6 EFI owners group in Facebook. Go on there and ask what other people are doing for their region for the carbureted models. Anyways, that will get, if you don't get it right, you're not going to get peak horsepower. Second thing for all the bikes is the gearing. I've been hearing some people having, complaining, and some of it I'm just going to say is straight ass ability to ride, but they're complaining about going up hills. Oh, my bike can't make it. It's the biggest thing. It's such a farce. Some of these people that are making a big deal about that, but the reality is that's skill. That has everything to do with momentum, how to use the clutch, how much throttle to give it. That's a skill, a learned skill to be able to do that. Not the power. But to get more torque for doing those things, change your rear sprocket. The EFI comes with, I believe, a 49. I would go up at least 3. 51, 52 if you can get it. The R comes with a 51, and I would say go to a 53. That's what I've done right now. It makes a big difference for getting off throttle, bottom end, getting that torque right in the beginning. Another thing you can do, I know a lot of people don't do this because they're asking me all the time about it. You got to keep your air filter clean. Every time you ride, or at least every other time you go out, at the minimum, you've got to learn how to clean your air filter. Take it out, wash it, re-oil it, reinstall it correctly. There's all kinds of YouTube videos out there. Go learn how to do that. Another thing that'll gain you about a horsepower or 2 when it goes bad, and if you fix it, you got to repack your silencer. They're good for about 10 or 12 hours. That's it. They're not that great as far as length, and they don't use the best material. So you can go online and get it from FMF and get 4-stroke packing and repack it. And again, there's all kinds of videos online to do that. And I may even do one because I'm due to do mine again. For the carbureted models, I would also suggest that you change out your throttle. The whole throttle positioning, the whole throttle part on the right-hand side where the grip is. I went to a Nibby quarter-turn throttle and got more response out of it. So the longer you have to go, the more you seem like you're giving it gas, and you may think your bike is slow. Because, wow, I got to give it all the way to the balls, to the wall, all the way open till my till my wrist is all the way locked. With the Nibby, I didn't have to do that. It's just I don't know if you can see it, but a quarter turn, that's all, and it's wide open. So you get really quick, much more response out of it. And then everybody, if you don't know Joe Henner is an engine builder, a mechanic, a suspension tuner in New York, in Syracuse, New York. He's who I use. He's the only one I know of right now who is really modifying the China bikes and working on all the brands. And what he can do for you if you feel like you've come to the point where you absolutely need more power. If that's your scenario, I'm going to question you a little bit, but if you bought a 250 thinking 250 power. If you bought a 250 thinking 450, well, you bought the wrong bike in the first place. But that's a whole nother thing. To get the most out of any of these bikes, he would be your go-to guy for China-made bikes. And what he can do for you is do porting. He can relap your valves to get the valve seat a little bit better so that you're not losing anything with being open or closed and getting too much fuel or not enough fuel. Having your valves open and close correctly and be very tight is important. So he could do that. He could do mill your head to bring your head down, give you a little bit more compression. He sells an advanced timing key, which I've made another video about, which advances your timing, which gives you a more efficient burn and brings your piston just a little bit more closer to make more compression when it does fire. So it gives it a little bit more burst off throttle, and it does help over rev too. But really, where I noticed it was off throttle. Gives you a really good little kick off throttle for people who were having like the bogs. Let's see, porting, head mills. Yeah, I think that's about it for these bikes. And the flywheel, advanced timing flywheel key. You can also, he can also get you a 300 big bore. So going from, I think it's what, 249 squared or cubed, 249 cc, I believe is what we get when it comes stock, both of the models, going up to 298. So, you know, that'll give you 3 or 4 horsepower easy right there. If that's your thing and you need it, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it, but I mean, just in general, I think these bikes have plenty of power, and people are underestimating it and blaming a lot of their maintenance and just not their ability, you know, to understand them, jetting, and also, you know, making sure you've got your EFI as good as you can get it. You run into the problems that I talked about. You know, you're going to have your bogs, you're going to have your backfires. Not changing your spark plug is another thing too. I recommend you change spark plug as soon as you can. The one that it comes with is kind of crappy. It says it's an iridium, but I went to an NGK, and you can find on the website, you know, you can find it out. It's out there, the model number. I don't have it off the top of my head, but yeah, I would suggest you change that too. That'll help with the burn. That's it. Quick one. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.